All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hotspot. We're live on YouTube and Facebook, and if you were watching, like, that little video screen, you saw us, like, change out, like, a whole bunch of, like, items here up on the set. That's a stage change. That's exactly what our friends over at the Gate Visual Arts Program and Father Duenas Memorial School are going to be doing as they present Little Shop of Horrors, one of my favorite plays. And I'm not just saying that because one of my favorite Guamanians is here, Ernest Ochoco, the director of yet another play. Also, the only guy on Guam that could pull off wearing a scarf in this kind of island heat. You can rock that, my friend. That looks very good.
Thank you. It's just for, it's so that I don't show my fat.
No mantika to hide there. Come on. Okay, and you also have a member of the cast playing with a runette.
We have JANESSA ALERRE here. She is one of my voice students. She's also a student at GW. And what role do you play again?
I play as a runette.
Yes, runette. Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting because Ernest, I know we've talked about Little Shop of Horrors for years. That is part of the Greek choir, right? That kind of like narrates throughout the course of the 3 acts and everything. You basically tell the story, so you have a big responsibility.
I sure do.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of what you're doing is in song. So how is it actually like carrying like 3-part harmony as as you're literally carrying the story from one scene to the next?
It's really difficult because I have to know my note, and it's really hard because I listen to my other ronettes, ronettes or crystals or chiffons, and I get confused because I'm like, wait, they're singing a different note. Am I in my right note? But then I just have to practice and rehearse, and then I got it. Very
nice. Ernest, I've always wanted to ask you, of all the plays you've done, this one is, we've seen generations of Guamanians do Little Shop of Horrors over the years for Gate. You've done so many Disney plays. Do you ever get nervous before opening night?
I'm always nervous for everything. And
so nothing's changed since high school, basically.
Never changes. And what they say is, if you have no nerves, then you're probably doing something wrong, right? If everything is calm, then there's something that's not right. So yeah, the nerves are a good sign for me.
There you go. Okay, and now I follow your Instagram, which by the way is fantastic. You guys make sure to follow it. Okay, what is the handle, just so everybody knows?
It's called Ernest. It's just Ernest Ochoco. All of my social media is Ernest Ochoco, and yeah, I do a little vlog thing that it's really fun called the Ernest Experience. So check it out.
Self-promotion too. And also the Instagram account that you guys have for this play. I mean, it's the cast members. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. There's a lot of rehearsals.
Yes, I connect my Instagram to theirs as well. So our Instagram for this program and for this production in particular is Gate VPA. Gate VPA Theater. Gate VPA Theater.
Okay, and here are some of the rehearsals. Now, again, maybe Janessa, you can speak to this and everything because the music is so interesting. I would say for maybe your generation, it really, really predates you guys. How was it to actually learn this style of singing and like with the dance and with the dialogue and really capturing these characters?
I'm used to singing more like Disney songs. So learning this kind of music was really difficult, but it was really fun because I got to act a lot, which is something I have a hard time with, but this show really brought that out in me, like my fun side.
And right now you're seeing a whole bunch of people performing for the muses. So instead of just having the normal traditional 3 girls who are playing the ronettes, the chiffons and the crystals, I kind of created an army of them, like a Greek chorus, like a full-on Greek chorus. The way that the writers of the show intended, they wanted it to be a Greek tragedy comedy, and so
because in the movie there were only 3. Actually, I think that was Tisha Campbell's first movie, right?
Yes, it was. It was hers. Yeah. So
see, you learn a thing or two here on the Hotspot.
And this is something really, really cool. I met Alan Menken in New York just recently.
No kidding.
Yeah, I asked for a sign from God. I was like, God, am I doing the right thing? And Alan Menken walks right into the room. I know, right? He's the writer. I know. And he's the writer of Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all of that stuff.
Okay, there is a tie-in, and I'd like to ask, one of the ronettes herself and everything, because the themes in this play, and Ernest was saying this the last time I had him here before we did like the casting call. This speaks of heartbreak in this play. There's poverty. There's a lot of there's anger in this. I mean, there's a lot of redemption stories in this play, but also some of the stuff is really, really heavy. And if you come from a traditional Disney background where it's oh, Disney princesses, everything works out in the end, how is it to kind of like adopt maybe some of the darker themes in this play?
So I really think about my experiences. I kind of think of my mother because my mom's from the Philippines. So I kind of try to imagine what did she go through and how would that relate to where Ronette came from, Skid Row.
Yeah, there is the poverty thing, and this kind of plays, I guess, Ernest. Maybe some of our people here, like locals, would identify with that. A lot of people going through some tough times, like in the pandemic years and everything like that. Maybe this might be cathartic. I mean, maybe actually some people might say, okay, and now I can laugh at this and everything because I've kind of been, through that. But there's also the love, which is timeless.
Right. Yeah, of course. And I think that people will relate to this because the archetypes, the characters here are very much close to the things that we all kind of experience on Guam, and going through the pandemic, it's been heightened, right? Our emotional needs are now something that we need to put in the forefront and take care of ourselves. And this is kind of the show that will help you kind of see yourself and also release all of those pent-up emotions from the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, by no means, if you've never seen Little Shop of Horrors before, yeah, it's got like some heavy themes and everything, but it's also super, super funny.
Funny.
So how is it to actually try and carry what can be very challenging for some actors and everything like that, the responsibility of comedy?
So with that, it's really funny, honestly, because I see some of the other actors, and of course they want to have a different scene for it. So sometimes it may be sad, but instead they make it a little funny. I think because they want to make the audience laugh and giggle. And it works because all of the other cast members are also laughing with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is your favorite part of the play?
My favorite part about the play is
or
your
favorite scene?
Oh, my favorite scene. I really like the Meek Shall Inherit because they come in and it's just really lively. And there's this dance that the muses do, and it's really fun. You guys should definitely watch it.
Okay. Perfect opportunity to go get those tickets. Okay, let's talk about when opening night is. I know when you're a director, you've got a cajillion different, there you go, thank you, Daniel. You've got a million different decisions to make. You've got phone calls to make, DMs to send and everything like that. When does the curtain go up on the first performance?
So we have a school matinee performance on the 19th. That's the very first one for our schools, and we make it affordable for all the kids. And then we have our evening show, which is for the general audience, which is the 20th of April.
There you go, and that's going to be on a Thursday, which we used to call Thursday must-see TV. This is must-see play.
Must-see musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Final. I know, Ernest, you better than anybody else on the island are a wonderful person who's made your livelihood out of assessing talent. We're going to ask you to assess some of our colleagues here, who we actually tried to sing some of the numbers, and we'd love to have your input as well. But final push, right? For people who have never seen the play, what are they going to take away from this experience, from the story, from the characters, from the music?
Want to try that?
Sure. I think it's about being aware of your environment, because of course we're from Skid Row and there's this plant that comes into play. And how will you react to that? How will you respond to that? As well as the other characters like Audrey and Seymour, they're both different people and they both kind of grew up in the same kind of environment. How will they respond to the plant? How will they respond to all this going on in their life?
Very nice. Do you necessarily see Audrey too as a villain? That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Maybe an anti-hero.
I agree with that. Because of course, Audrey too, I kind of see it as a villain because they're kind of eating other people, spoilers. But at the same time, I feel like Audrey too, there's some kind of good intentions with it, because he kind of ate Warren, which is a dentist.
Audrey too eats bad people too, so
Audrey
we don't want to give too much of it away. Yeah.
But yeah,
okay,
I won't give too much away.
We hope you bring your appetite, for wonderful entertainment. But we'd like to ask you two to stay here because we have actually put together, after this commercial break, a sampling of some of the songs that we tried to cover, and we'd like your opinion on it as professional stagecraft practitioners. So please stay tuned. We got good stuff coming up from our news team who are taking on the soundtrack of Little Shop of Horrors when the Hotspot continues right after this.